I get some people in here real quick. Oh, CEO. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting my share on real quick. What's that? I got you. Libra gang, what's that? Had to get my sharing on real quick. I said in Serrano. Y'all good? Grand Risings. Oh man, let's have a good live. Let's have a good live this morning. Let's have a good live this morning. Y'all share, get people in here real quick. Let me go ahead and do what I do before we get started. Y'all know. Y'all already know what it is. Today's topic, we're going to go over transportation theory. Okay, we're going to go over transportation theory. We're going to go over transportation theory. And we're going to add a little bit more to it. Okay? There's a lot of people who don't understand transportation theory. Some people don't know what it is. So we're going to go ahead and touch on it. You know, we're going to go ahead and touch on it. And hopefully get an idea and a concept and know different ways on how to dodge the hijack and the brainwash. Okay. All right. All right. So soon as we get enough people in here, we're going to go ahead and get started. That should be by the time I finish rolling my joint. By the time I get done rolling my paper plane, class will proceed. If you haven't had your wake and bake, go ahead and get your wake and bake. Go ahead and get started. You feel me? So now, all right. But we can go over the beginning real quick while we do this, because we can chew bubblegum and walk. All right. All right. Naganiji, what's happening? So, transportation theory. What is transportation theory? Well, transportation theory is a narrative transportation theory purposes that when people lose themselves in a story, movie, media, news, TV shows, anything of the such, their attitudes and intentions change to reflect that story. All right. What's happening, Dave? Y'all get it? Oh, it gets deeper than this, but I'm giving you the basic definition of transportation theory. Transportation theory is when people lose themselves in a story, their attitudes and intentions change to reflect that story. Okay? We see it happen all the time. We see it happen all the time. What's happening, C3? We see it happen all the time. All the time. Pay attention to people after they watch movies, TV shows, watch the news. Pay attention to the kids after they play the video games. Even pay attention to yourself after you get done watching live videos, YouTubes, listening to music. Pay attention because we talked about self awareness. So, you know what I'm saying? Even we do this. All right? Transportation theory, when a person loses themselves in a story. Okay? As y'all can see at the bottom, which story have our people lost themselves in? Our people haven't lost their African minds. Our people lost their slave ass minds because they're slave to the narrative. I'm just being real. Who is No No? What's, what's in it?
Just from a psychology standpoint on how people imitate different things that they see and stuff. It's really. But what are you with the movie? What are you talking about with that? I just caught that last part.
The movie? A
Yeah.
lot of movies are a lot of movies are propaganda and they are created through transportation theory, such as the movie Roots, such as the Holocaust, such as Birth of a Nation, and so on and so forth.
What's Roots about?
The only reason why people think the only Roots,
Yeah.
you know what Roots is about. Everybody know what Roots is about.
I've never heard
Um,
of it.
yeah, so that would be a transportation theory because it says it's a movie about showing all melanated people being enslaved as slaves, and that's far from the truth.
Well, weren't there like not in the United States mostly, but throughout the world, right?
No, it is widely fabricated.
So it was only black people?
Nope.
Yeah. Well, what? I don't get the point.
You said, well, the point is that if everybody was enslaved, then why history school and Hollywood not making slave movies about white folks, Arabs, Chinese, and so forth and so on? They only make movies and they only teach that people that look like me were slaves, and that's far, far from the truth because we all did our census records that stretch back to 12th grandparents, no slaves.
Yeah, there were all
And that
kinds.
movie is documentary false.
Yeah, there were all kinds of slaves throughout history. Like that's just facts. I mean, the United States only wants to push an agenda on that only one group of people were slaves and that only one group of people owned slaves, which is false.
Right, but the public don't believe it's false. This is what the public means. When I'm talking like this, I'm talking about on an average scale. The average American don't know that
Yeah, no,
because they believe that roots, all black people were slaves and nobody else wasn't.
yeah, that's
Transportation theory.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's just a simple history, and people refuse. I mean, they even refuse history. Like they refuse facts,
Uh-huh.
and it's sad. And I think that media and like movies do. I mean, movies I think are on a very subtile or sub whatever the word is there scale. I think it's more in just simple.
Shalom, what's happening, y'all? It to work. Peace, family. Most definitely peace. Back to you. Be easy, don't work too hard. Hold on. Okay, so hold on, I'm trying to fix this real quick. All right, here we go. All right. I ain't mean to be rude. I mean, you can still watch the live, buddy. I just want to finish my lesson before I open up the panel. Uh, Plus, the views was dropping. We was kind of lagging. So anyway, let's get back to the teaching. So the narrative. But to understand transportation theory, we have to understand the etymology of transport, right? The word transport, originally mental exalteration, sense, but means of transportation. What does a mental exalteration is? Slide over with me. A medical definition of it is marked or excessive intensification of mental state or of the activity of a bodily part or function. An abnormal sense of personal well-being, power, or importance. A delusional euphoria. Okay? A delusional euphoria. Transport. Transportation theory describes the tendency of narrative to travel or be mentally drawn into the reality described in a narrative, as well as the outcome associated with this experience of narrative immersion. Then, roots, Holocaust, birth of a nation, reefer madness, and many more are all transportation movies. It's not a theory if the shit actually works. Let's keep going. One of the things that they use for transportation theory is mental imagery. I'm saying in DC. So one of the methods that they use for transportation theory to immerse the audience into the story to get lost is mental imagery. And notice I got the bold at the bottom because that's mental imagery for you at its finest. Just read what mental imagery is in transportation. What's happening, Prince? Mental imagery, the transportation imagery model, right, highlights the role of visual imagery in transportation's belief change. According to the model, images take meaning of their role in the story. The transportation experience linked the vivid images with beliefs impelled by the story. The image of a person suffering from skin gag may be linked with the belief about the importance of the sun protection. This connection between images and beliefs may be one bias for the power of narrative persuasion. It may be difficult for verbal or statistical arguments to overcome the power of mental image. No, stop. It may be difficult for verbal or statistical arguments to overcome the power of mental imagery, meaning no matter how many books, no matter how many statistic records, no matter how many census records, no matter how many proof that you bring to a person, it is hard to overcome the power of the mental image of you being a slave in their mind, okay? Even though a person may know rationally that airplanes travel is quite safe, she may not be able to shake the mental picture of a plane crashing. Understand me? Similar to the availability, right? Images can affect beliefs even in the absence of a story. Theory suggests that when individuals are transported, they are more likely to form mental images from text, and those images are likely to be more impactful. Additionally, the transportation imagery model suggests that over time, recalling the image may revoke large parts of the original communication, thus reinforcing the story. Relevant beliefs. The implication of this perspective is that individuals' imaginary ability in situations that allow for the formation of rich mental images increase the persuasive power of a story, and such influence may persist over time. We're going to let that breathe because that was a mouthful. We're going to let that breathe because that was a mouthful. Did any of that make sense? Y'all need me to break something down? Y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all need me to break something down? Let me know in the comments. Okay, cool. So, no, so what we just read, hey, look, motion pictures is the most powerful propaganda tool. Silent weapons for quiet wars. Frequencies, waves, brainwash, MK Ultra, transportation theory, psychology. Research it all to understand how you lost mentally and on paper versus physically. Because they never beat us physically, they beat us psychologically and on paper. So understand and read the mental images for yourself, screenshot it, or you could pull it up, or I can make it bigger for you to screenshot it or whatever. Read it, understand it, and then go into the world and understand. When you talk to people and they giving you hard times understanding what you're talking about, understand that the mental imagery that they are placed on, that was placed on us, is very, very impactful. And the more that people keep going back to the memory or back to the mental imagery of said persuasion, they just keep reinforcing their brainwash on their own. It becomes perpetual now. All right. Notice when you argue with people or debate or whatever y'all want to say, the more information you throw at them, the more they resist. The more information you bring out that you was free, the more they keep reinforcing their own mental imagery of you being a slave. Okay? The more you keep doing something, the more they're going to fight against it. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes less is more. Once you drop a seed 1 or 2, 3 times, let the seed do its thing. Let the seed do its thing. All right. But if you keep trying to force the seed to grow, the seed would never grow. All right. All right. That's why you'll never see Los talking to a brick wall or a dead horse. Okay. I'm going to say something to you 2 or 3 times. If you don't get it, hey, blessings on your journey, my brother. You feel me? I got to go to other people who can get it or who want to get it. You understand me? All right. This ain't the only one. We're going through the steps of transportation theory. I didn't do this on my last slides of videos. So I'm just going to revamp it. I got new shit to add in there. Now, spellbound. Another spellbound. As you can see, a synonym for spellbound. What is spellbound? Spellbound. If you are spellbound by something or someone, you are so fascinated that you cannot think about anything else. A synonym for spellbound is entrance and transported. Transported, spellbound. Spellbound, transported. Transportation theory, spellbound. Spellbound, transportation theory. An entrance. An entrance. The etymology of an entrance literally means in a trance. In a trance. So now when you see signs that say entrance, peep game, all right? But it's transportation, transported, spellbound, right? Spellbound. I mean, yeah. Okay, so you're being spellbound with the transportation theory. You're being spellbound. Spells is being cast on you. Anytime you watch a slave movie, it's a spell being cast on you, and you're gonna be bound to it. I don't watch slave movies. I never have, and I never will. I've never seen Roots a day in my life. I heard about it, and from what I heard from other people that watched it, it was bullshit. I ain't never watched Roots. Now, I guess this is why it's easy for me to disconnect from the slave story, because I've never watched slave movies a day in my life. I haven't watched that one slave movie. I cannot tell you what happened from start to finish in nail one of them. But I do a good job of, guessing what happens. Let me guess what happened in Roots. boats, chains, cross the waters, getting dropped off. Boom. Okay, what happened? That's the typical story. I ain't gotta watch it for that bullshit. You feel me? So I wasn't really under that spell, the slavery thing. You know what I'm saying? Like most of our people are. But we're gonna keep going though. A lot of Pan Africans are spellbound heavily. Heavily. But you gotta have a strong mind not to be put under a spell. Alright? Let's break it down some more. Transportation theory. We're talking about the transportation theory. The transportation theory describes the tendencies of a narrative consumer to travel, quote unquote travel. There's an etymology for the word travel. It don't necessarily mean ship or car or walking. Transportation and traveling are synonyms. The consumers to travel or be mentally drawn into the reality described in a narrative, as well as the outcome associated with the experience of narrative immersion. Narrative transportation involves a strong sense of absorption into a narrative, including emotional and cognitive responses to narrative content that mirror reactions to real world events. Transported readers may also experience vivid mental imagery. Transportation predicts the persuasive impact of narratives, with transported consumers frequency displaying increases in story consistent beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. Transportation has also been found to influence aspects of the mind as central as self-concept. It is related to, but distinct from, other forms of media engagement. What? Motion pictures is the most powerful propaganda too, such as identification and parasocial interactions. We're gonna let that breathe. That was a mouthful. What's happening? Everybody tuning in. What's that? There to the See, I stopped watching them a long time ago. I'm trying to tell you. First, you wanting to be a slave is sick. The Midwest kid, look. Hey. My man said, this is sick. What sick? Teaching people about psychology and transportation theory so they know how to protect themselves when they watching movies and media and everything else that's made to brainwash them. That's sick. I bet it is sick. I bet it is sick. It's very sick. You're playing with people's mindsets. You're right. These folks crazy. We are fighting y'all's lies. We are fighting y'all's lives. We are fighting you guys' lies. Oh, man. Oh, look. Hey, check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Nobody blocks him, though, but check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Hey. Oh, just in case they pull your boy down, go subscribe to my YouTube, Signs Up for the Conscious Mind, and my podcast, Signs Up for the Conscious Mind. You feel me? I got all information in all gems, in all articles, books, CIA documents, and all sources and proofs on all platforms for everybody to read. It ain't no lies. You just don't comprehend what's happening to you. Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Go download it. But you're not going to download it. I don't even know why. This is the microwave generation. This the microwave generation. They don't want to go and download and read actual books. They want to ask Google for all the information in a quick Google search. And I'm going to read the first thing that Google pops up and I'm going to say, I debunked you. That's not real research. Scientists and archaeologists and real people who read don't do that. we rather read books than read Google. You understand me? We rather read psychological stuff to understand the psychological bullshit that's going on our people. And this information isn't just for my people, but I'm speaking on my people because I never grew up white. I never grew up Arab. I can't speak on them. I can only speak on my people. But if you are outside of my folks, you might want to do your research because you've been MK Ultra just like everybody else. All right? This is a whole thing. The reason why a lot of people love us is because we teaching the world and the world love. But I digress. We're gonna continue going though. Let's flip the page. Stay in the live. You might learn something though. You might walk away with something. You might walk away with something. So, how does the transportation theory works in the first place? Well, the transportation theory has to work with, there has to be a pre-existing familiarity with an aspect of a narrative world. It can increase the transportation. So when they created Roots in all these slave movies, they based it off of pre-existing familiarities of the time period, such as indentured servants, such as the Caribbeans being traded over here to the mainlands, such as American Indians being sent to Africa and Europe, such as Arab slave trade, such as all these. So there was a pre-existing familiarity already, right? Right. So they just capitalize on it to increase the transportation. Individuals who reported greater knowledge about the fraternity or sorority system are more transported into a story. Listen. Individuals who reported greater knowledge about the fraternity or sorority system are more transported into the story. What do that mean? He said, bro, if they don't come from an actor or a narrator, they won't believe it. This is the whole reason why I'm doing transportation theory. This is the reason why they won't believe it. It's because they waiting on the next movie to tell them the truth. So what does that mean? Individuals who reported greater knowledge about the fraternity or sorority systems are more transported into a story. So those people who believe that they came from slaves and that they came from Africa and they do the most talking about black this and black that and black, they are the main ones who are transported into the slave narrative story. They are the main ones to get brainwashed even further. They are the main ones. Those of us who got our own minds, we're not so likely to be transported into a story because we don't accept wood and nickels. You heard me? They said they waiting on Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy still trying to figure out if the earth round or flat. One episode he said it's round. The last episode he said it was flat. Then he just disappeared. You know what's crazy? Bill Nye ain't even a real science person. I learned that shit out a long time ago. He ain't even no. He's just an actor. They tell him what to say. That's crazy. My whole childhood, I thought he was a real science person. I thought he was a real science person. My whole childhood, we've been lying. Literally. It wouldn't even surprise me. A Dr. Phil ain't even a damn doctor. All right. Let's go to the next start. Let's go to the next one. The next one is called manipulation, right? This is another tactic they use outside of the mental imagery. They use manipulation. So manipulation, in addition to measuring transportation responses that naturally occur in responses to narrative, researchers have created experimental manipulations designed to increase or decrease transportation. Such manipulations are important for theory testing, enabling researchers to examine the effects of transportation while controlling for other variables, such as the content of the story. In some cases, these manipulations may also be practical value for helping to increase or decrease transportation in more naturalistic settings. For an example, transportation can be affected by the instructions given to readers and viewers. For an example, transportation can be affected by the instructions given to the readers and the viewers. What's that, Rashad? For an example, an example of how transportation can be affected by the instructions given to the readers and the viewers. Easy. When you go back then in them old concerts, they be like, put your hands in the air, wave them, hey, oh, put your hands in the air. That's what that is. That's what they mean. Just like that. And then the whole crowd do it. No, they just got transported. Just like that. When you go to concerts and these rappers and Beyonce and everybody be like, give me your energy. Oh, the energy is so right in here. Give it to me. And everybody in the crowd be like, yes, take my energy. You know what I'm saying? You just got transported. You just been spellbound. Man, concerts, celebrities, idols, TVs, actors, politicians, the world's a stage. Everybody's a warlock. Nothing's what it seems. They put the wool over your eyes. Your perception is warped. Oh, what you thought? Magic come out of your hands with glitter and shit? Just chicka, chicka, chicka. Nah, man, y'all better quit playing. Magic is imaginary. The etymology for imaginary just means the seen unseen. That means that it's real, you just can't see it, so it's imaginary. So when your kids tell you they got an imaginary friend, they actually have a real friend. You just can't see it because you're not on that frequency of spectrum of light to grasp the frequency. So therefore, magic is very real, it's just imaginary. And it goes and it works through frequencies, light spectrums, in words and chants and mantras. Ooh, people better wake up. Trying to wake y'all up. All right, so now, so, such as focus on the surface aspects of the story, such as difficulty in the grammar, produce lower transportation than instructions to simply read the story normally. Transportation can also be manipulated by changing aspects of the story, such as they came from Africa, when in reality they came from the Caribbeans and they was already here. Peep game. All right. So changing aspects of a story, such as, hold on, difficulty. Okay, yeah, aspects of the story. Changing a story to non-chronological order. Listen, changing a story to non-chronological order or reducing the quality of writing. Poor word choice, digressions, poor word choice, such as they were slaves. That's a poor word choice. They was employees. That's a better word choice. All right. Produces lower transportation. Further, manipulating narrative suspenses. Providing general information to suggest an increase of transportation. Although these manipulations have primarily been used in experimental contexts to help understand the process and effects of transportation, these manipulations may also relate a message design. Messages that avoid digressions and have a clear chronological structure and more likely to be transporting. All right. I like to see what the background my family tree had. See Tiano's and Erowitz. How the islands are the first. The Black Panthers were the only ones they told you about in America, about America has a secret modern day wars. We know the Black Panthers weren't the only ones fighting against the folk, them people. Damn, Rashad hopped out. I said, "What's up?" He ain't speak. That's rude. That's rude. Now, the heightened perception of realism. All right, the heightened perception of realism. These are stages of transportation theory. We haven't went over the stages. So, heightened perceptions of realism. Heightened perceived realism has also been demonstrated as an effective mechanism in transportation. Based belief changed. Based belief change. Realism in this instant is not the same as real world truth. Realism in this instant is not the same as real world truth. Realism in this instance is not the same as realism in this instance is not the same as real world events. When they told you everybody was on a carriage and buggy when everybody had cars. When they told you everybody was living in cabins and teepees when everybody had buildings and towers and free energy and free enterprise and everything was thriving and the people was well dressed and they wasn't swinging from trees like savages like they told you and shit like that. If they show you an alien on sci-fi, best believe that the realism is not the same as real world events. Okay? The historical roots of CIA and Hollywood propaganda. Downloaded. The CIA Manual of Trickery and Deception, declassified. Archives.org. Downloaded. Transportation Theory. Read it. Go over it. MK Ultra. Get it. Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Archives.org. Download it. Learn about social engineering. Okay? And understand that all movies all movies are based in transportation theory. It's all spellbound. Even Holocaust. Because the Germany's Black Holocaust of 1890 lasted to 1945. But somehow people don't know that history. People don't know that. That Holocaust was way before Hitler was even Hitler. No, nobody know about it. I wonder why. Who was controlling it at that time if dude with the funny mustache wasn't even born yet? Who was controlling it at that time? Who was putting them people in the Holocaust? Who was these folks? You know who these folks is. They run everything, even the media. You know who these people are. Ah, yes. I'm glad you said that. Hold on, I got a picture for you. Don't go too far yet, Midwest. We forgetting about something because we ain't never seen this before. But check this. Uh-oh. Yes, a so-called black man would be one Midwest king, but also the Siberian. Also, yes, the so-called black man would be one. The so-called Siberian Mongol would be one, and a couple of white passing people will be some more, which is another so-called black man. He's just white passing, and then you got some Anglo-Saxons in there. These are your Ashkenazis. What y'all thought? Ashkenazi just look like him? Hell no. Look, tribe of Japhet. Look, Siberia. Trying to tell y'all, hey, look, man. They created race for a reason. To hide. They created race to hide. Listen, they created race to hide in plain sight. Germany's melanated Holocaust was ran by these folks before dude with the funny mustache came. And then when dude with the funny mustache came, he put these people in there. Peep game. Peep game what the dude was doing. I'm gonna let this rest up here for a little minute. And if you throw an I right here, like we know how it's spelled with an I, you have Nazi. Here go yo, yeah. Here they go. They just shortened up their name. They the same people. They the same people. Nazi. Think about it. After America did what they did to do with the funny mustache, what they do? They went to go get the Nazi scientists and they brought them all over here. 98% of America is Ashkenazic. Ooh, they flipped everything on you. They flipped everything on us. Because I didn't know this a long time ago until I started digging down the rabbit hole. But they flipped everything when they created transportation theory and movies and TV and propaganda. Those people are amazing at propaganda. Those folks are amazing at propaganda. Yeah. They the main ones that be doing it. If I got the world thinking I'm so innocent as the like no matter what I do, I'm always gonna be innocent because of what I brainwash people to think who we are, I will get away with so much stuff. Listen, if I was an evil entity and I brainwashed the world to believe I'm the most innocent walking thing on the face of this earth, that no matter what I do, people will still support us and can never believe that we would do something so corrupt. No matter how many folks hit the newspapers of some corrupt stuff, people will never believe it. We got to create a story. We got to transport their minds into a story that's so believable that every time they see us and hear our names, all they feel is sympathy for us. And they gave you the Holocaust using transportation theory. That's what they did. OCLOs in live chat. What in the Discord? Trickery, most definitely. Man, I never looked at them like that. I always thought was something missing. Yeah, the missing, yeah, it was something always missing in there. It was the melanated people. They leave out the melanated people all the time when they tell their story because then people get the wondering. People would get the wondering. They created a story so good. They created an illusion so good that you wouldn't even believe the truth if we showed you. They created a narrative and a story so far that people would not believe it if we told them, but truth is stranger than fiction. Truth is stranger than fiction. Why would white supremacists and Anglo-Saxons and Blue Moon people paint Filipinos and create stories and cartoons of Filipinos that look like us? And a lot of people be like, well, it was satire. How would that be satire? It doesn't make sense. What does make sense is that we're all over the world indigenously. That's what would make sense. That's why. When they went over there grabbing folk, they seen us. And for those in the back that say we spewing white supremacy, what do white supremacy gain off of us telling that we are indigenously everywhere and white supremacy is the reason why people don't know it? How is that white supremacist? See, a lot of people that be on these lives just be saying words and they don't know what they mean. They just say it because they hear other people say it, and their definitions is based off what other people think the definitions is without actually doing the damn research to find out what is what and who is who and unravel history. This why don't nobody really like going to y'all lives when y'all go live, because y'all not teaching shit. Y'all not showing people nothing. You're not putting the images with the words that you're trying to teach people that comes to the lives. You got to line it up to get people to understand. And you can do something as simple as getting a job application from any job and look at the race/ethnicity section and look at the definition of white. And it's going to tell you North African, European, and it's going to tell you some whole other shit. And now when you start thinking logically about white supremacy and you start asking yourself, who all fits under this umbrella? Everybody who is classified as white will defend white supremacy with tooth and nail. So actually what we're teaching is hurting white supremacy and everybody else who's living the illusion and is trying to fight hard of the bullshit indoctrination that was put on people in society in the world for generations. This is why, okay, if we was doing the job of Blue Moon supremacy, We wouldn't be getting banned. They wouldn't be trying to take TikTok from us. Y'all wouldn't be mad because we are exposing Black Moon supremacy. Y'all wouldn't be mad unless y'all part of the shit. You feel me? You know, it's a whole different thing. So folks don't even know what it is. You ask anybody what white supremacy is, they gonna be like Black Moon people. They gonna be like Billy Bob and Karen, the police. They don't even know what it really is. Just like people don't even know what racism it really is. They don't even know what systematic racism really is. They don't know that race is a whole ass illusion. And once people understand that race is an illusion that's man-made, created in racism, racist is a ooh, something don't want me to talk. You heard me? But I'm going to say this shit though. Once people understand that race is man-made and created and it's not real, then people then will understand that racism and racist is man-made and the shit ain't real. Because it goes hand in hand. Without race, there will be no racism. So if both of those are man-made constructs, then neither one of them is real. So what the fuck is a race classification then? Some more man-made, made-up bullshit, right? That everybody don't have their own mind to think out the box to say, I ain't checking shit. Why you need to know who I am? And then you got a bunch of misnomers on here. Why you want me to check a misnomer? I don't know, because if I was white, I'd be asking, why am I classified as a misnomer? Because white and black are adjectives, and they are misnomers for both people. But ain't nobody thinking logically or critically like that. They just think that we all just the black supremacists. You guys are black supremacists. No, I can go to my DMs right now. A lot of Arabs love me. A lot of Hindus love me. A lot of South Africans love me. A lot of UK love me. A lot of Ireland love me. You feel me? A lot of NAs love me who's being banned and shadow banned by their own people for telling the truth, and they be hitting me up in my DMs. You feel me? I got a few Pan-Africans who done flip sides, but I ain't gonna put them out there, but I see y'all. You feel me? Everybody love this of every race and every culture because it speaks loudly. And they love this shit. You feel me? The only people hated are the only ones that's mentally transported into a fabricated lie, which are your Pan-Africans and your Native Americans. They are the only ones. You don't see Hindus getting mad talking about Hindu erasure. None of them is doing that. Because Hindus know Nagas. They know who we are. They know we are the Maya Nagas over here. You don't hear Asians talking about Asian erasure. No, because the Asians know about the Negritos. You feel me? They know who we are. You don't hear them. You don't hear people in Europe talking about talking about poor chap. You guys are doing erasure, chap. They not mad. Ain't nobody mad around the world in these actual places, and they see us and they tune into us. I check my analytics daily. Ain't nobody hit our panels yet talking about Indian erasure. They know about India Superior. They know that Hindu is a tribe, and they part of that tribe called Hindus. They don't even like being called Indians because they know who the real Indian tribe is. The Maya Nagas. The ancient ones, the hidden ones, the ones that they told y'all don't exist no more. They just disappeared. They all died from smallpox, but somehow you still have Native Americans on lives. But all the natives have died. This just bullshit that contradicts itself if you just think logically. But nah, man. The world. No. Not the world. Because the world know who you are, and you still chiseled on statues over there in India with your thick lips and your wide nose and your Asiatic eyes. You are still in statues over there looking like a whole Olmec. Okay? People know who you are. Germany is fighting to keep our statues still. Why they want to take them down. Ask yourself why so-called Black Lives Matter want to take down the more statues over there in Germany that proves that we was everywhere. That don't make sense. Think about it. Government psyops, COINTELPRO, they still trying to erase you still to this day. But they can't. They can't. You're ancient. But Walter Plecker and everybody told Walter Plecker and Melville Herskovitz and Frank Boas and Charles Darwin and Woodrow Wilson and a lot of other folks told people that you came here on slave boats. Laying down, no food, no water, 6 months. It was already a quote unquote Negro problem here. So why would they bring more dark-skinned people here? Benjamin Franklin called it a Negro problem. He even said it himself. Why would we bring dark people here if we already have a Negro problem here? Benjamin Franklin said that. Let's take it back to the 1500s. Okay, let's take it back to the 1500s when a Spanish colonizer ship was saying, why would we take trips back and forth to Africa? That's a waste of resources and time when we could just enslave the inhabitants that's already here. It's a 1500 Spanish colonist shipwriter. I ain't gonna give you the name because I love when people do their own research. You can take what I just said and I guarantee you will find it. Do your own research. Don't wait for none of us to tell you stuff. Do it. You have to have an economic mindset to understand resources, time, and getting shit done. Why would I waste 6 months traveling across the water grabbing somebody and traveling another 6 months back, which is a whole year, to drop them off if they make it? But we know people can't make it without food and water for 6 months. But hey, and drop them off. That's a whole year that passed by of no production, no money, no resource, no land being tilled, no crops being picked, people still dying, population numbers decreasing. And you want people to believe that you brought 12 million folks over here by a sailboat? And people sit here and believe that though. People sit here and believe that. You know why they believe that? Because they're racist. Simple. That's the simplest answer, because they racist. You want to think a specific demographic of people is so inferior that only they were slaves and they have no history, no regulation. They don't know their ancestors. They don't know where they came from. They don't know their language. They don't know nothing. But everybody else and their mama know who they are, though. What's happening, Gaddy? So you telling me we the only people on the faces of earth got amnesia? Everybody else remember. You listen to the Indian slavery and the stories in the boarding schools of how the culture and the language and all that shit was taken from the Indians, but somehow you got Native Americans on these panels still talking about real Native Americans. We still have our culture and our language. We know, because ain't shit happened to y'all. Y'all ain't go through no atrocities. Y'all wasn't drinking from no colored water fountains. They was talking about Indian slavery, and not one of y'all talk about Indian slavery. Y'all been on these panels for 2 years trying to debunk us, and y'all ain't teach nobody about Indian slavery yet. You know who taught people about Indian slavery? We have. Because Indian slavery is the slave trade. And Hollywood only make movies with our faces because we are the Indians. You feel me? Dude, just stop. Bring your ass to the panel and get the fuck out my live, bro. Because I really don't care for y'all and I really don't like y'all at all, period. I really don't give two shits for none of y'all, honestly. Y'all coming to the wrong panel. I don't sit here. I don't debate with y'all. I don't argue with y'all. I'm not going to waste my time with y'all. I ain't about to sit here and try to beg y'all to listen to me. I ain't about to pull up no documents so y'all niggas can be. I don't give a fuck about the 2%. Period. I don't care about y'all niggas. As long as you keep disrespecting my grandmama and my great-grandmama and my granddaddy and everybody else that died in my family behind this shit, I don't care about y'all. A lot of y'all are disrespectful and y'all won't say this shit in nobody's faces. Y'all just want to run to the fucking government, y'all daddy, because y'all ain't the real Indians. Real Indians don't like the government, nigga. The fuck you talking about? If the government destroy all the Indians, we don't give a fuck about being federally recognized. Nigga, it ain't no treaty. Nigga, it's been up. What are you talking about? Eugenical sterilization of America. Go look it up. It's been up. Our Indian women been getting sterilized all the way to 2023. Y'all ain't no real Indians. Y'all don't know shit. And if y'all move y'all racist mindset, you'll understand that y'all are inside the same category as us too. This is why they try to give y'all the jab, us the jab, and Latinos the jab. Because we the same damn people. Y'all ignorance is outrageous, bruh. Y'all ignorance is outrageous. Every time, go get it. Eugenical sterilization of the United States, archives.org. They only want to sterilize melanated women, Native Americans, and Latinos. Go rewind Joe Biden. He only wanted to give melanated people, Latinos, and Native Americans the fucking jab. They always targeting us three. Why? Because we the same damn people. We just mixed. Some of us is mixed with melanated Europeans. Some of y'all is mixed with Anglo-Europeans. But you're still mixed. But we still have the same ancestors with fucking afros in our census records. And you gonna look us dead in the face and say we not the same people, and y'all gonna ride behind the white man and the government all day. We know it was y'all that flipped on us. We know it was y'all that flipped on us. We know it was y'all that flipped on us for some fucking money. We know y'all flipped on us for some fiat currency. That ain't Indian-like, nigga. That ain't Indian-like, nigga. Fuck you talking about? And then some of y'all get so racist talking about you guys are clinging on to that one ancestor. It don't matter if it was one ancestor or 30 ancestors. Nigga, it's my ancestor, and I can represent them how I do. And if you was a real Indian, you'll respect that. But you ain't no real Indian, nigga, so you don't respect that. You allow all these people to dig up our mounds and shit, and ain't nobody raising hell. It wasn't y'all cities that got flooded. It was our cities that got flooded. It wasn't y'all being lynched. It was us being lynched. It wasn't y'all babies being fed to alligators. It was our babies being fed to the alligators. It wasn't y'all being skint and turned into purses and shoes and shit and being stuffed in chairs. It was us. And you gonna sit here and look us and say ain't shit happened to us and everything we went through is pseudo and theories. You niggas is disrespectful, bro. Real shit. Now y'all silent on my live. Get the fuck off my live. That's how I roll. That's why they don't want to debate me. That's why everybody's scared to holler at Los. This why they don't make videos of Los. This why they don't come to my panels and challenging Los. None of them. Unconsciously, pork titty, no facts. All of a sudden, none of them fucking Native Americans, nobody come fuck with Los because they know what it is. I got my shit down pat. Period. I ain't with none of that drama, nigga. You gotta beat me with facts. And you can't. Niggas is lame, bruh. Lame. And that ain't anger. That's passion. And a lot of people with no passion or a soul don't understand what passion is, so they quit to say anger. You niggas is soulless, bruh. Period. Niggas is lame. You gonna defend a fucking Indian council and all those Indian council niggas is Anglo, is in this fucking Anglo. Everybody on that Indian council is Anglo. But I'm teaching fake history though, right? All of them is Anglo-Saxons on that Indian council. But we the Wabos. Boy, y'all smoking good peyote, you heard me? Put that shit down. Anyways, look at these neglitos. These are the Filipinos. A lot of our sisters look like them. Chief Smoke-a-Lot grandmama looked just like this. We already got pictures of her. His grandmama looked just like one of these Filipinos with the fro. My grandmama looked like a Filipino with a fro. I can show you her picture. She has a deep copper red tone. Everybody love when Los get amped. The following jumped up to 117. Ain't that something? When I was on here calm teaching transportation theory, your boys had like 30 views. But as soon as Los get hyped and amped,